Though Biden ran on a promise to bring people together, so far he's barely been able to bring his own party together, and in many cases has outright failed to do so. The Build Back Better Act, which started as a multi-trillion-dollar proposed investment in everything from the economy and infrastructure to climate change, taxes, and health care. But now, even though the bill has been drastically slimmed down to barely a tenth of Biden's original plan, he'll be lucky to get it passed at all. It's not the first time that Biden has been unable to bring West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin or another moderate senator, Kristen Sinema of Arizona, on board with his policy goals. Whoever's to blame isn't the point. They've also resisted attempts to change the Senate filibuster rules, something which tanked Biden's move to pass voting rights legislation earlier this year and his desire to codify abortion rights into federal law after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And maybe most importantly is all of this that's happening about, for example, gas prices hit historic highs, although they've started to come down a little. Same can't be said for inflation, which at least for now continues to soar. Long lines are back at food pantries. Americans, many of whom have never been to a food bank before, overwhelmed by inflation and need help feeding their families. It's a tough time to say that the Biden agenda is working, but that's not what I want to discuss, because the public feels it's not working. Back with us is Democratic political strategist Michael Starr Hopkins. All right, so Michael, again, let's not debate the policy issues. Let's just talk about what the public is thinking about Biden, rightly or wrongly. They don't seem to want him. What can Democrats do, if anything, to kind of edge him out of 2024?
Well, I don't think they're actually going to have to edge him out. An Iowa poll came out today that put President Biden's approval rating at 27%. I think he sees the writing on the wall, but he's not going to announce that he's not going to run before the midterms. That makes him even more of a lame duck. But should he decide that he wants to run, I think that there's a lot of Democrats that are excited to primary him and see what happens.
So your point is that Democrats are not going to do what has happened in so many other races, right, where they sort of defer to the president. If Biden is this unpopular, you're saying you think all those Democratic names that have been thrown out, not getting much coverage, but have been thrown out as possible candidates will go after him and run against him in 2024?
Absolutely. I wrote a column in February for the Daily Beast where I actually called for Joe Biden to be primaried. When he calls Mitch McConnell a man of honor, when he fails to hold Manchin and Sinema accountable, when he has failed to pass marijuana reform, I think it shows that he's not the person for the moment.
Well, you're coming at him from the left, right? I mean, so I think
those are even left. I would disagree that those are left issues, though. Marijuana support.
Well, forget about marijuana for a minute. The other issues that you're saying he hasn't done enough to rein in Manchin and Sinema, who you view as too far to the right, et cetera. And what was the first thing you said that you wrote in the column?
Well, he said he was going to be a bridge. And so it was believed that he was there just to get us through COVID and through kind of the after effects of President Trump. So there is no real rationale for a second term.
All right. Well, we shall see if you're right. We always like having you on the show. Michael Starr Hopkins, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.